Okay, welcome back to the discussion for 2.3, which is on sets and compound inequalities. Let's start off with 3 and 4. 3 and 4 both use the same set, F and G. And number 3 asks us to find F union G, right? So we want to find the union of the two sets. And then 4 asks us to find the intersection of the two sets. Right? So the union of the two sets is take one set, dump it into a bag, take the other set, dump it into the same bag, and then just list out everything in the bag, right? And so if there's something that appears in both sets, you don't want to write it twice in the union, you're just taking a roster of what you see in the bag, right? So you do also though want to write them in ascending order if that's possible. In the case where they're numbers, that is possible. And so I'm gonna look here, I've got a 3, I've got a 5 that appears in both, but again I'm only going to write it once. The next largest number is this 10, and then the 12, and then a 15 is in both, and then 20, right? So that's the union, is those all of these numbers are here and or here. Right? The intersection though is a little bit more picky, so it's only the numbers that appear in both, right? So we picked them out, we saw, I mentioned them, right? 15 is in both, and 5 is in both. Sorry, somebody made fun of the way I said both the other day, but I feel like I'm saying it right. Anyway, who cares? 5 and 15, right? We have those. That's the intersection, and so that's the answer. Alright, let's take a look at 11. We also had 11 in here. 11 is a compound inequality. And it says 4x minus 17 is less than 3, and 5 times x minus 7 plus 10 is greater than 10. Alright, did that make it? Yeah, alright, okay. So I'll just solve each of these individually. So starting on the left one, I'm just going to add 17 to both sides. To start me off, we get 4x is less than 20. Dividing each side by 4 gives me x is less than 5. Okay? And the result of whatever's over there. So I'll start by distributing 5x minus 35. Plus 10 is greater than 10. Combining these two, this gives me 5x minus 25 is greater than 10. Add the 25 to both sides to give me 5x is greater than 35. And then divide each side by 5 gives me x is greater than 7. So it's an and statement, right? I'm going to finish the explanation here, I'm going to take these two and just kind of put them up top. This gives me x is less than 5, and x is greater than 7. And the confusion comes when you try to pick out a number that satisfies both of these. It's very hard to do. X is less than 5 is, the number's at 5, open, shade to the left. It's all of those guys. X is greater than 7. When you're drawing these two lines to compare, make sure that 7 is to the right of 5 in your second line. Don't put it here and say, oh, well, it's here, because it's not. It's not there. It's not. 7 greater than 7 is all of these guys, right? It's and, so that's the intersection. That means it has to be both on this line and on that line and there aren't any numbers that are there, so there are no solutions to this, right? So that's your answer to here, is that there are no solutions. Alright, thanks, and I'll catch you guys next time for 2.4.